Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. About to give you guys my post-fight reaction to Abdullah Mason getting a controversial, premature 12th round stoppage over Albert Bell in a competitive fight. But before we get into all of that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,600 mark, looking to crack that 3,700 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes, y'all. We got some things to discuss. See a few people in the building already, so I could tell you already got a lot to say. So let's get into it. Smoochie said, that stoppage was wild, not gonna lie. Yeah, but to be honest with you, dog, this referee, Mark Nelson, man, how the way he was officiating this fight, you know, is as fucked up as it sounds. I'm not surprised that, you know, he decided to make that move. In my opinion, his officiating was terrible throughout the entire course of the fight, to be honest with you. So for him to make a insane move like that, you know what I'm saying? Not surprised at all. Jay, what up? Shout out to Smoochie with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you very much for contributing to the channel. Sway, what's going on? Marissa. Kabara Train, what up? Go 787, what up? Baboon Balloon. Marlon, what up? Junior. Sean Terrence. Lorenzo and the motherfucking Benzo, what up? Justin Jackson, what up? He said boxing is corrupted. Are we surprised? Lorenzo, he said Scooter should be 11-1. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. I didn't get to watch the Scooter Davis fight. You know what I mean? By the time I was getting around to setting up, the fights and shit like that, I think his fight was already starting to wrap up a little bit. Chris Maldonado, what up? He said Scooter got a gift. My boy Agent 86 wrote hashtag and still. All right, man. Shout out to the nation. Shout out to the mob. Let's get into this conversation. So I was a bit off with my prediction, but to be honest with you, man, I was off by like 3 rounds. Not gonna lie to you, I don't really like how the way this fight went. Despite me being right, saying Abdullah Mason was gonna get the KO, that wasn't the KO that I was looking for by any means necessary. So, really assessing the fight, man, Albert Bell started off. He had a lot of success in the beginning. Me and my guy David was watching the fight right here. My boy David Jacobs. Shout out to the mob. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we was watching the fight together and shit like that, and in the beginning rounds, there really wasn't much that was going on. We seen Abdullah being aggressive, and we seen Albert Bell like peppering him with some right hands and shit like that. But I was still like on the fence as to what was like who was winning the rounds. I'm checking in with the group chat and shit like that. They feeling like Albert Bell is up, and I'm seeing Chris Mannix gave like 5 straight rounds over to Albert Bell. So I'm like, damn, like, is it really a blowout? Because there was some rounds that was close in my eyes where I felt like Albert Bell really wasn't doing much, and Abdullah Mason was landing some clean body work, especially in that first round. I thought there was some clean body work from Abdullah, some great jabs to the body. I seen him land some great 1-2s to the body as well. He was doing effective body work, and I think that's what ultimately got him to break Albert Bell down by, what was it, like the 8th, 9th round. Albert Bell started to deteriorate. And they also brought up an interesting stat line saying that Albert Bell has never participated in the 12-round fight. So I thought that was pretty interesting. That was something that I didn't even take into consideration. And that may have been why, Albert Bell, was incapable, in my opinion, of, maintaining his conditioning and shit like that. And, I like the body work that Abdullah Mason was doing early, but I guess the counters from Albert Bell, the straight right hands and the combinations that he was landing on Abdullah at certain times throughout the fight was, standing out more than anything. So, Albert Bell started off really well the first 5 rounds. Abdullah Mason did start to pick it up. Like I said, I think the body work started to pay off. His fast hands, the combinations. The only thing that I didn't really like with Abdullah Mason was I think that he was leaving a lot of food on the table. And what I mean by that is, and shout out to his pop. His pops had great instructions. They kept censoring him because he was cursing and saying all of that crazy shit. But what he was saying was spot on. Like I was like, bro, exactly what I was saying while I was watching the fight is exactly what Abdullah Mason's father said. And there was times where Abdullah would be listening, but then there was other times where he wasn't listening so much. And there was a lot of times where, Abdullah Mason was leaving food on the table, like he wasn't eating when he was supposed to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like there was times where he was supposed to be working, but he wasn't working, and he was actually letting a lot of time go by. There was a point, and I forgot which round it was. It was one of the later rounds where like 20 to 25 seconds went by, and Abdullah didn't throw a single punch.
10 or 11.
Yeah, it was around that time frame. So he left a lot of time on the table. And you could tell that Abdullah was carrying it as if he felt like he was comfortably up in the rounds. And that's a dangerous mentality to have. When you're in a tough competitive fight like this, just assuming that you're winning. You feel what I'm saying? So, I guess his corner told him in the last round, like, yo, you down on the cards. And we seen an uptick in Abdullah Mason's aggression, and he was able to get that knockdown in that last round. That knockdown was definitely legit. After the fact, Abdullah continued to, head hunt. He was going to the body as well, but he was specifically focusing on those headshots. And there was a moment where Abdullah clipped Albert Bell with a good shot up top. Albert Bell went on the hold, and just to keep it real with y'all, man, it was a whole lot of holding, man. That shit was insane. And I really didn't like the fact that Mark Nelson, the man who was officiating the fight, was not allowing them to work on the inside. Not only that, but as excessively as Albert Bell was holding throughout the duration of the fight, it was unacceptable, in my opinion, for he had a 7-4 going into the 12 for Abdullah. Okay. I thought it was a little bit closer than that, but, whatever. There was a lot of excessive holding that the referee refused to warn Albert Bell about. I think that really took away from the fight, to be honest with you. There could have been a lot more action that could have taken place if the referee would have either warned Albert Bell for the holding or took a point away from Albert Bell for the holding. Maybe we would have got a bit more action. We might have seen a bit more offense on both sides, but unfortunately, that's not what happened. And then when the second knockdown came around, and I think a shot definitely landed that had an effect on Albert Bell. I think he admitted it in the post-fight press conference as well. However, it didn't look like Albert Bell was completely out of the picture, in my opinion. It didn't look like he was out cold. It didn't look like he had anything left. I think that he should have been given another 8 count. The referee didn't even take the time to assess the fighter to see if, he was out or in a bad place or anything like that. He just went ahead and waved the fight off. So terrible officiating from Mark Nelson. I don't know if he has any experience, officiating at a championship level, but that shit was absolutely trash. The playback zone said I had a 6-6. Honestly, Abdullah couldn't find his rhythm in the first 6 rounds. How could you have it 6-6 if the fight didn't even end? How did you have it 6-6 when the 12th round didn't even come to an end? That doesn't even make sense. How did you get that? How did you get that additional round? The 12th round didn't even end. It got stopped. I don't know where you got that from. But regardless, Abdullah Mason definitely got some things to tighten up on, man. I seen this kid, and I want to see if the criticism is going to be the same. You know what I mean? Because he's a championship level fighter. You know what I mean? He is young, but like I said, there's no, exceptions when somebody has a championship belt around their waist. I watched this dude, Abdullah Mason, get punched in 2 to 3 punch combinations, getting hit clean. I want to see if he gets any type of defense criticism or anything like that. You know what I mean? And shout out to Abdullah Mason. And he has a shit ton of potential. He has a lot of upside in his career. He could go on and do some great shit. I would like to see the kid unify if the opportunity is available. But in the meantime, man, they could keep building him. You know what I mean? Keep making him a name out in Cleveland and shit like that. And just keep his name buzzing. Keep attaching his name to the top lightweights in the world. And, continue going from there. You feel what I mean? Abdullah Mason is a phenomenal talent. But I do think that there was times where he really wasn't listening to his corner. He did the same shit in the Sam Noakes fight, which I really wasn't, that wasn't something that I was enthused by whatsoever. But it is what it is, man. He's a young kid, but he definitely has to build, I'm not gonna say trust with his father, but he needs to trust his father's word a lot more, because his father's usually on point with his instructions. Man, his father is a phenomenal coach in my opinion. I loved everything he was saying was something that I would have said out of my own mouth. So um, great instructions. I just think that Abdullah needs to believe it a little bit more. I think he needs a little bit more patience. I think he needs, but at the same time, he needs to have, that urgency as well. And he needs to, fall back from that young, naive state of mind where, just because you're in Cleveland or just because you may have landed some shots on this guy that you're comfortably up and around. You cannot have that mentality, man. I seen Terrence Crawford and Tim Bradley speak about it earlier on the broadcast, and they, Terrence Crawford brought up when they were talking about the live, what was that, like the live scoring or whatever the case is, where they was announcing the scoring that was for the Bruce Carrington fight. He said, man, you can't just coast through these rounds. You know what I'm saying? That's what Oscar De La Hoya did with Tito Trinidad, and we seen how the way that fight went, to be honest with you. So yeah, it was a great competitive fight overall, man. Albert Bell did what he could with what he had. I think he mentioned that Abdullah Mason broke his nose and he had trouble breathing, after the fact, and that was why he ultimately started to deteriorate and he wasn't able to, maintain his conditioning. These things happen. This is boxing, and best believe if your nose breaks, that's definitely gonna have some sort of effects on how the way you're breathing in the ring. And how the way, how are you going to be able to get that oxygen into your body when your nose isn't cooperating with you? You know what I'm saying? You definitely need your nose in order to, get that oxygen flowing, again, that carbon dioxide out of your system as well. So, with all of that said, man, great fight overall, man. That main event definitely saved this card. Shout out to Ibrahim Mason as well. He definitely tweaked out on his opponent, beat the shit out of him, to be honest with you. But to be honest, outside of that, I wasn't really too enthused with any of these guys' performances that was on the undercard. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't like Tiger Johnson's performance. He looked like he was a bit off. I don't know exactly what it was. I know he had a full camp. He was sparring with Xander Zayas in the lead up to the fight. He said he had a long, hard camp. I don't know if he may have possibly overtrained. I don't know if it just wasn't a good night for him, but I just wasn't enthused. Bruce Carrington, he went ahead and he fought, a decent opponent. He got hurt Bruce Carrington got hurt to the body. I thought that knockdown was a legit knockdown in my opinion. Yeah, that shot may have strayed slightly behind the head, but at the end of the day, Bruce Carrington turned his head to his opponent and allowed that shot to happen. So, to me, I feel like that should have counted. That's just me though. I seen, Sean Porter and everybody else and Chris Mannix saying that the knockdown not being called was the right decision. I don't know, man. I think if you're giving up a shot for a fighter to take, or if a fighter's planning on hitting within a legal limit, and you turn your head and they hit the back of your head, that I don't think they should be at fault for that. And because of that dumb mistake you made, you should have to pay the consequences for that. But that's just me. Bruce Carrington didn't really show gears in this fight, man. Like he showed gears in his championship fight against Carlos Castro, but this one right here, it was just I didn't really see Bruce Carrington dig into his bag of tricks and really turn it up a notch. You know what I'm saying? I seen him, getting comfortable around the third round, and he was getting his combinations off. He was landing effective punches even when he was sitting on the ropes and stuff like that. But outside of all of that, as the rounds went on, it looked like Bruce Carrington started to slow down a little bit. His opponent started to pick it up as well. Hence why he was able to get that good body shot on Bruce. And it just looked like it took everything out of Bruce after that. To be honest with you, at the end of Shushu's fight, it looked like he was kind of happy that the shit was over. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was definitely coasting. And did Bruce Carrington win the fight convincingly? Yes. But it was just how the way he performed overall, I wasn't too enthused with. I thought that was one of his lesser performances, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Tiger Johnson, you know what I'm saying? Like, he landed some good shots. Tiger Johnson got a good 1-2 and shit like that. And, he did what he needed to do in order to get the victory and shit like that. But, overall, Tiger Johnson didn't look like anybody that I wanted to see. He didn't look like the version of him that fought Nicholas Flores, for sure. This kind of reminded me of like the John Nelson Figueroa, Boca Chica performance. You know what I'm saying? Where like, all right, like you won, but you didn't stand out as like a top welterweight to me. I didn't see this performance. It was like, oh man, I need to see him versus Brian Norman. Oh man, I need to see him versus Devin Haney next. Oh man, I need to see him versus Liam Paro. Like I didn't watch this fight and be like, damn, Tiger Johnson deserves an opportunity now. And my message to Tiger Johnson is we know that you're talented. We know what you're capable of because we've seen it in performances before. It's just a level of consistency that you need to have. So you know what I mean? You can stay on people's radar. People continue talking about you. Then once you start successfully attaching your name to other top welterweight, contenders and champions, now you're getting somewhere. Once that demand starts to be attached to your name, then the world title shots will present themselves slowly but surely. But it's the inconsistency for me, just like Ralph said. That really is a theme in Tiger's career right now. He needs to switch it up. I don't know what it is, but he needs to have more consistent performances if he wants to be lined up with the top dogs. If he wants to get these title shots, if he wants to get Devin Haney's word, you know what I mean? If he wants to get his word, like, all right, you know what? Tiger been showing out. Y'all think he the shit? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fight him. These performances aren't gonna get it done. You know what I mean? If you continue to perform like this, you better hope that these sanctioning bodies go ahead and make you a mandatory for one of these belts, and then you could go ahead and get an opportunity that way. But outside of that, you know what I mean? I don't think you're more deserving than like a Jack Catterall right now. You know what I mean? I just don't see this happening. I just don't see you being more worthy than a Jack Catterall. Jack Catterall has been doing this thing. I don't think you're more deserving than a Arnold Barbosa, who had a brilliant win over Kenneth Sims, at 147 pounds. But if you were able to beat guys like that in a dominant fashion, now you're talking. But, outside of that, man, I felt like the card was mid, to be honest with you, not because of the names that were on the card, because how the way they performed. Abdullah Mason, he has some catching up to do, in my opinion. But, he did what he needed to do. He turned it up. He showed that there was gears to his game. And Albert Bell wasn't able to keep up with it, man. A fractured nose is what ultimately costed Albert Bell. But, much credit to Abdullah Mason for landing that shot to break Albert Bell's nose. You know what I'm saying? So Abdullah Mason got a lot more room to grow. Definitely needs more discipline, in my opinion. He needs to listen. He needs to trust his corner advice a lot more. And I think that he needs to stop putting his impatience. I think he needs to stop putting his emotions ahead of, the logical corner advice that his team has given him. You know what I'm saying? But Albert Bell, for him to be 33 years old, not have much wear and tear on his body, what's unfortunate, man, because he was able to do this and perform at this level against Abdullah Mason like this, him being 33 years old and shit like that, it's really hard for me to believe that he'll get another world title opportunity. Unless the sanctioning body help him out, put him in position to possibly be a mandatory, it's going to be very hard for me to believe that somebody will voluntarily fight him. You know what I mean? Because how many people, nobody has ever made Abdullah Mason look like that. You know what I mean? Nobody has ever made him have to dig deep to, pull out a victory. And then on top of that, it was a controversial victory. It wasn't Abdullah Mason's fault, but when you got a bum-ass official like Mark Nelson that's out there, making terrible choices and not really doing what a top official is supposed to do, you know what I mean? These things can happen. Shushu might have to forget anyway. He shouldn't have to be worried about anyway. Now anyway is at 122 pounds. Bruce Carrington needs to worry about the other champions that's in his division. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking about he wants to unify. I'll tell you what, y'all talking about he need to stay away from anyway. He need to stay away from Rafael Espinoza. That's who he need to stay away from. To be honest with you, there's no disrespect to Bruce Carrington. I've had him on the channel, but I'm calling a spade a spade. Y'all don't mind when these these other media outlets do it, so I hope nobody get offended when I do it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let these pink people that report boxing, talk all crazy about y'all, and y'all still get them interview opportunities. So if I'm calling something straight down the middle, I hope nobody get offended. But Espinoza is definitely a no-go, Junior. Definitely. Not performing that way. And then, in back-to-back fights, you've been visibly hurting both. You know what I'm saying? You got hurt with a headshot against Carlos Castro. Then you went ahead, you got hurt to the body. And what's his name? Like Placios or some shit? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Palacios. Yeah, you got hurt by this dude. So it's like you getting hurt in back-to-back fights that included world titles, man. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. You definitely got to tighten up on some things. Maybe it's because, and I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the high cheekbones that Bruce Carrington has or whatever the case is, but it really looks like he sacrifices a lot to get down to 126, man. So I don't know if it's a situation where you may have to move up to 130. I don't know, but I look at it this way. If you need to really move up to 130, just look at it this way, Bruce. You won a world title. You had a title defense. So they can't say that you aren't a champion. You defended your belt. So I think, if you're really struggling, unless you're not, I don't know. If you're struggling to make 126, man, you need to go ahead. You in your late 20s, just go ahead, go up to 130 and see what's available up there, man. You might feel a little better with that 4 pounds, and you may surpass expectations going up to 130 with that additional weight that you'll have. 4 pounds may not sound like a lot, but it is very helpful. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the pros when you got 24 hours and some change, 24 hours plus to rehydrate. So who do I think Abdullah should fight next? I mean, it depends on what route they want to take. Abdullah Mason definitely has other champions in his division. But you got to take into consideration at the same time that Abdullah Mason is young. And even though, I'm not going to use that as an excuse to not fight anybody, the people that's putting the money behind them are going to take that into consideration, and they still want to continue to build this kid's profile. So, there's other champions in his division, like, Floyd Schofield about to fight Lucas Body for the vacant WBA title. Who knows when? That's something that Abdullah Mason could look at. Raymond Mordetai is currently the IBF lightweight champion of the world. Abdullah has a WBO. So who has the WBC? I think that's vacant as of right now because they stripped Shakur Stevenson. So I don't know. Abdullah can, fall back for the rest of the summer, see how the way the landscape changes. Some people are actually calling, Bruce Carrington to move up to 140 as well. Not Bruce Carrington. They calling for Abdullah Mason to move up to 140 pounds as well. So we'll see. I really can't call it. I mean, I guess in the meantime, if he wants to stay busy and no other champions are available, he could fight somebody in his sanctioning body, somebody that's ranked. Loner says Raymond Mordetai. They said Rocha Cepeda fighting for the WBC. That makes sense. The WBC love William Cepeda. Love William Cepeda, man. One thing about Roach, you're going to keep getting them opportunities. So
he fought Tank,
he fought Pitbull, now he about to fight Cepeda. They always for belts. So, wait, was the Pitbull fight was for belt? No, I know that was a draw. They might have had some version of a title on the line for that fight. Let me see. Bella Faith in the building. She said, I think Bell would have got stopped, but dang, the ref should have counted since he believed it was a legit knockdown. That's all I'm saying. That was, like I said, that was a horrible, horrible stoppage. It's not Abdullah Mason's fault. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't no criticism or shade towards Abdullah whatsoever. He can't control what a referee is doing in the ring at the end of the day. But to be honest, man, that shit looked kind of weird. You know what I mean? Considering, Abdullah Mason was in a real close fight. And, I guess they was just looking for any type of situation to see Albert Bell, like where he may have been down bad so they could go ahead and wave it off. And, because, they're in Cleveland. Yeah. This is Abdullah Mason's homecoming. They want Abdullah Mason to look good. Albert Bell's no longer associated with Top Rank or anything like that. So you're on a top rank event with a top rank fighter, the youngest world champion in boxing today, male boxer, and you're in his hometown fighting him. Toledo is not Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So, taking all that into consideration, it just looked kind of weird that referee was just looking for any moment to just wave the fight off. You know what I'm saying? That should have deserved another 8 count. This ain't the fucking amateurs. And even in the amateurs, you get 3 8 counts before they call it off. So, I didn't see Albert Bell in a situation where he just can no longer operate. He wasn't out cold or anything like that. He was well aware of what was going on. He was beat up, yes. He was tired, yes. But he still was functioning. He still was receptive of what was going on around him. And he should have been allowed to continue as a result of that. We're in the 12th and final round of a fight. And yeah, maybe Abdullah probably would have stopped him shortly after that. I don't. The reality is we'll never know because we had some bum ass officiating tonight. SOB TV, what up? So that's how I seen the whole shit, man. Congratulations to Abdullah Mason. He got his first title defense. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has next. I'll let y'all know he is one of my favorite up and coming fighters as of right now. Probably was rooting for him a little too hard in the beginning rounds. Because watching Albert Bell have some success was pissing me off. But it is what it is. I predicted a 9th round KO for Abdullah. He ended up getting a 12th round one. Regardless of whether it was controversial or not, it happened. Albert Bell is a lot better than I thought. I thought a lot of people were hyping Albert Bell up. I didn't really see what people were talking about. But he is sneaky. You could tell he got a little bit of pop on his punches because he definitely had Abdullah Mason a bit hesitant. And he actually controls distance better than I anticipated. Because when I was watching this, I'm hearing people say this about Albert Bell. So I'm like, all right, this is what y'all saying about Albert Bell, but y'all could be lying. But one thing that don't lie is film. So I went back and I watched, like I said, his most recent fight with prior to Abdullah, what was Keith Hunter or something like that. I went back and watched that one. I went and watched like a couple highlight clips. I watched some other fights that they had online that was like his full fights, and I couldn't help but see flaws in Albert Bell's game. Yeah, he was tall, yeah, but I seen him like jumping into. I'm like jumping into in the line of fire without throwing any punches. I'm seeing him not take his head off of the center line. I'm seeing him pulling straight back with his chin in the air. And I seen it in the Abdullah Mason fight as well. But I guess when you're in there with him, it's just different. He's throwing combinations with his chin in the air. I was like, man, like this dude, Albert Bell makes so much mistakes. I couldn't help but see Abdullah Mason putting hands on him. But the fight was a lot more difficult than I anticipated it to be for Abdullah. You know what I mean? Much respect. Albert Bell, my apologies. I actually slept on what you were capable of. And you're a lot better than what I thought. So salute to you, brother. I'm not looking at you no way. You are very talented. And if you were given another world title opportunity, who knows? You might be able to grab a title before it's all said and done. You know what I'm saying? But to go 13 years without getting the opportunity, that's a very unfortunate situation. I hope this ain't Albert Bell's last opportunity because it looks like he has a lot left to give. You know what I mean? He didn't take an absurd amount of punishment against Abdullah or anything like that. And prior to this fight, it didn't look like he took any punishment at all. So he should be all right. You know what I mean? Definitely want to take the rest of this summer off and, you know what I mean, get yourself back in the mix and get back as soon as possible, man, because you definitely got a lot left in the tank. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. My boy Marky Dan. Marky Dan in the building. What up? He said Abdullah showed he can adjust even when fighting a technician like Albert Bell. Yeah, and the real adjustment in all of this was just turning up the intensity. You know what I'm saying? I also seen him slipping the right hand and stuff like that. So, he was neutralizing it a little bit. But I think the body work slowed Albert Bell down a little bit. And then once he was able to, according to Albert Bell, break his nose, he had trouble breathing, and from struggling to breathe, his conditioning started to go down the drain. And, that worked out in Abdullah Mason's favor because in them later rounds, Albert Bell was barely engaging. He barely was throwing his hands. It just seemed like he was trying to survive at that point. I guess that injury kind of broke his spirit, and that allowed Abdullah to take over the fight. Let me see what the people talking about. Bell versus Foster. Are we talking about Oshaki? That would be interesting. That'd probably be a very I'm not gonna say boring,
Technical.
very technical fight. And may also be like a very economical fight. That's gonna come down to who's more active. I might pick Foster for that one because Foster uh he actually let the motherfucking hands go. But he is significantly smaller than Albert Bell. So that, they definitely balance each other out. That'd be a great one. He showed out for his first title opportunity. He did well. He did well. Like I said, I think based off of this fight alone, he's gonna struggle to get champions to voluntarily fight him. I'm gonna just say that. He said, "Nah, Abdullah versus Foster is what I want to see if he can't get Navarrete or Shakur next. Navarrete versus Abdullah would fucking be crazy. And I don't think Shakur and Abdullah gonna fight anytime soon. That probably won't happen until Abdullah go to 140. They got the same manager. Man, Jay Prince gonna take his time with that. He ain't about to cash out none of it. He not gonna cash out his young bull, and he definitely not gonna put his most popular fighter right now in a position to possibly fuck the money up. Was watching a fight right now on Big Fendi's live. I don't know who that is. Who's Big Fendi? You know who that is? The fuck is that?
Oh no.
My boy Marlon said, watch Auntie Schofield say some bullshit tomorrow. Auntie Sco need to shut the fuck up and make sure his son win this world title. Because if he get out of pocket with Lucas' body, that nigga might go out like H2O. So he need to worry about he talking from the bench, talking from the bleachers is crazy, bro. You know what I mean? Y'all niggas talking about that boy Auntie Sco go out of his way to talk about legit world champions. And whenever the fuck he talk about his son, he talk about what his son did at sparring. How about what your son did in the pros, nigga? How about you do some historical shit in the pros? Fuck being a world-class sparring partner. Oh, my son's the standard because they always call him in for work. Bro, all that means when they're calling your son in for work is that he's a fucking good sparring partner. That's all the fucking means. That don't mean that your son a great fighter. Your son can only be a great fighter if he did shit under the lights when it actually fucking mattered. Like, I don't know why the fuck people, bro. Do you know how many motherfuckers I know can spar their ass off and whoop damn near everybody in the gym, and then when they step in the motherfucking ring, it's crickets. Two totally different settings. So yeah, you beat Tevin Farmer, but everybody and their mom done beat Tevin Farmer at this fucking point. Dude got like what 11 fucking losses. It is what it is. He's not at his peak like he once was when he was a world champion at 130. Congratulations, you beat him coming off of back-to-back losses to William Cepeda. Despite what y'all feel, he lost back-to-back to William Cepeda. You knocked out Tevin Farmer in one round. Congratulations. Also, you're a big-ass 135, and the nigga is clearly a 130 that moved up in weight to get an opportunity. So you beat him. Congratulations. But you were supposed to fight Jojo Diaz. You pulled out. Supposed to fight Shakur Stevenson. Y'all pulled out. You were supposed to fight fucking Lucas Body previously. Y'all pulled out. So y'all niggas is infamous for talking like y'all like that. And then when they get close to the fight or when contracts get signed, all of a sudden niggas got cold feet. So Auntie Sco need to reserve his motherfucking opinions to him. So get his son locked into a fucking world title fight and then actually fuck just doing that. Win the world title. Then you could come back and start talking that shit that motherfuckers want to hear. Until then, y'all sound corny as shit. Just on the sidelines talking crazy about niggas and y'all not doing anything. If you're going to be talking crazy about niggas, do what they doing or surpass what they doing. Until then, shut the fuck up. Seriously. Nobody trying to hear that shit. You know how corny y'all motherfuckers, you know how corny that nigga sound? This nigga, we'll knock him out. Oh, we'll knock Tank out. Oh, we'll knock Shakur out. Oh, we knock Keyshawn out. Oh, we knock Abdullah out. Oh, we beat all of them easy. If it's so fucking easy, go fucking do it. If them niggas are so easy to you, it should be nothing to beat Lucas Body. That nigga ain't on none of their level. He not a Lucas Body ain't better than Abdullah. He ain't better than Shakur. He ain't better than Keyshawn. He ain't better than none of them niggas. So if you could dispose of all of these guys so easily, Go ahead and whoop on Lucas' body. Grab that fucking WBA world title. And since Tank is a champion in recess, if that pussy ass nigga want to come around and fight for that WBA, when it's time for him to get his shit together, because from what I'm hearing, Tank ain't coming back for the rest of the year. That's what they saying. They saying ain't nothing to negotiate because the nigga ain't coming back in 2026. All right, cool. If that's the case, beat Lucas' body ass, because according to y'all, everybody easy work. So Lucas' body should be easy work. Then go ahead and, you know what I mean, campaign for y'all Tank fight in 2027 if y'all like that. This is another thing. Like, I remember Abdullah and them offered, y'all remember when Abdullah team offered Floyd Schofield 7 figures to Rumble, them niggas turned it down. And then went ahead and accepted like a fucking, it was a bum ass deal, to be honest with you. He got like it wasn't a bum ass deal because it's more money than what the fuck we got. Yeah. But it wasn't as much as what them motherfuckers was trying to give me for the fight. He had like, let me look that shit up. Let me look that shit up. I think he only getting like $300,000 a fight. So we got a multi-million-dollar deal. Yeah, but how long that motherfucking deal stretch out for?
You had 7 fights. I ain't gonna lie. Any nigga wanting to pay me in $1 million to fight game.
So undefeated lightweight. He signed a multi-million 5-year contract extension with Golden Boy to anchor his long-term career. And I think they said he was fighting. Damn, I can't find that shit. See, look. Schofield's team previously declined to offer to fight Abdullah Mason for a reported 1.1. Instead, his camp committed to a 5-year guaranteed $5 million Golden Boy deal. So if
you fight this nigga once, you get 1.1. If you fight for 5 years of your life, you get 5.5, which is cool.
Not even 5.5. They didn't even say that.
Just 5.
5. So you ain't even getting that $500,000 on top. So if you fighting twice a year, that's 10 fights, right? 10 fights divided by 5 million. You divide 5 million between 10 fights. What is that? Hold on. That's not 200,000, is it? I'm tripping. Let me see where my math at with it. I ain't been to school in a long time.
I was gonna say 500,000.
500,000. Yeah. So you declined 1.1 to get 500 racks a fight for the next 5 years. Can't make this shit up, bro. And they be talking like they so. And I think Young Boy really like that. I'm gonna keep it real. I think Young Boy really like that. I think his pop pussy. I swear to God. I think his dad a bitch. I don't think his dad be talking. And if y'all pussy, that's my thing, right? Let's say you put. If I know I don't believe in my son all like that, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Personally, I ain't about to be out here popping it like my son the shit when I know in the back of my head he not like that. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna tread through this motherfucker lightly. Like, R.I.P. Ricky Hatton, but his son was boxing and shit like that, Campbell Hatton. I ain't see Ricky Hatton out here popping all that gangster shit talking about his son the next world champion and all that. If you beat Ricky Hatton, shut the fuck up. But he let his son do whatever the fuck he wanted to do with his career. And once his son had enough, he was like, all right, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, Schofield, you already signed with Golden Boy Promotions. You already getting backed by Oscar De La Hoya and all that. Bro, just enjoy the moment, bro. And let Oscar do what the fuck he's supposed to do for your career. Shut the fuck up. And, bro, nobody want to hear you do interviews anyway. This nigga think that like he got main character syndrome as a trainer. I don't be understanding that. Since when in boxing do the fucking fans give a fuck about the trainer? Nobody. Bro, nobody want no fucking boxing fans sit in the motherfucking seats or pull up the fucking DAZN app on their TV and be like, yo, I cannot wait to see Freddie Roach. Oh, I cannot wait to see Robert Garcia. Oh, I cannot wait to see Bozy Ennis. Nigga, don't nobody give respectfully. Don't know none of boxing fans give a fuck about them. They give a fuck about the motherfuckers they coach. Niggas be like, yo, I want to see Jerron Ennis. I want to see Virgil Ortiz. I want to see motherfucking Shakur Stevenson. I want to see Devin Haney. Nobody sit back and be like, yo, I can't wait to see Bill Haney work this corner, man. I can't wait to hear his instructions. Nigga, nobody cares. So when I'm hearing Auntie Sco, little feminine ass, all running around here, shouting, trying to get everybody to listen to what the fuck he talking about, bro, respectfully, don't nobody give a fuck about what you talking about.
That should be irrelevant.
Niggas be asking to see your son do interviews. They're like, yo, let's talk to Kid Austin. What's up with Kid Austin? You know, his cerebellum ain't developed yet. His cerebellum, so I don't even want him to do interviews by himself because his cerebellum ain't fully developed yet. Like, nigga, you tapped into a motherfucking biology textbook that try to come up with some type of reason for why you got that motherfucking main character syndrome. Nigga, fall the fuck back, nigga, and let niggas do their thing. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, niggas start breaking down the brain and shit. What reason can I come up with? What reason can I come up with to disguise the fact that I think I'm bigger than the program? How long does it take for the brain to develop?
Like 25.
25. Oh, well, kid only 23. Ooh, I'm gonna say that. Then he took his little faggot ass on the internet. Oh, damn, I said it again. Damn, I said it again.
Yeah, I think it's
they took his ass onto the internet and was like, you know why I don't let kid do interviews? Because his cerebellum ain't fully developed yet. They ain't developed till you 25. Go look it up. They like, oh my God, Auntie's right.
You still got something to understand, and that's just saying like your brain won't fully mature until you're 25.
Yeah, so based off of that, he needs to play chaperone to this nigga's interviews. Okay.
I'm sure he's PR trained enough, bro. The nigga didn't box for years.
Bro, it's not even that, bro. Like the nigga, he's just, bro. The little nigga ain't slow. He ain't slow, bro. Like he's actually very well spoken. He's intelligent. You could tell when he talk. He actually got a pretty good personality. There's a lot to like about Kid Austin, to be honest with you. He give you knockouts. He, you know what I'm saying? He explosive. He got punching power. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell he don't mind rolling the dice. I just think that he don't want to fuck up the dynamic he got with his pop, so he just be letting his pop run his movie. But that's what's gonna fuck him over. Who y'all think Bill Haney is? That's who Auntie is. Oh, that nigga Bill Haney don't know how to shut the fuck up, bro. He's literally the promoter for DHP. That's what he gets paid to do. If you are the head of DHP, you have to be the promoter. He's also the fucking manager of his son as well. So he got no choice but to be involved. He has to negotiate the fights. He has to promote his son. That's what he gets paid to do. Auntie signed his son to a different promoter
and still try to do the promoter job.
You only a coach. Like we was homeless. All right, nigga, y'all not no more. Shut the fuck up, bro. This nigga said his frontal lobe is tender. That's crazy.
Nigga said he's speaking 5 styles of bullshit.
He's like, do you know the 5 styles of boxing? Like, nigga, shut up, bro. Shut up. I heard the nigga break it down too, and I'm like, bro, you the only coach that be talking that bullshit, bro.
No bullshit, though.
You know the nigga ain't no real coach because he only coaches his son, bro. I'm gonna tell y'all niggas something, bro. To me personally, if you are a boxing coach and you only coach your son, it's probably because you probably don't have what it takes to coach anybody else. You're not no real coach, bro. You couldn't tell Bozy, oh, you gonna only train boots. Nah. My father coached me. That nigga ain't just coached me. Coached plenty of other fighters and went very far with them. You know what I'm saying? If you a coach, you don't just limit yourself to your child, nigga.
Same with you, man.
Fuck you mean? I don't even train my son with shit.
I might say you don't even train.
Yeah. Norman Sr. Yeah, you see Norman Sr. ain't doing shit. Nigga, son dropped him, and now his dumb ass somewhere on Mill City Live. Regular fucking fighter. Yo, he was hating on Boots Got Wobble. Oh my God, I told you he a regular fighter. You just gotta fight him back. Fifth round, he was like, oh. Nigga was on his best behavior. I'm like, this nigga's a fucking bitch. Yeah. When Boots dropped him, wait. This nigga Xander went down. He's like, oh. Like he couldn't believe Boots got that shit back. That nigga was,
TikTok,
man. Bro, that nigga was jumping. Yo, somebody in the comments said, bro, if Boots would have dropped, them niggas would have kissed. That shit had me fucking crying, bro. Somebody on Twitter said that shit, dude. What? They said if Boots would have went down, that them two niggas would have kissed each other. That shit had me crying.
Yo, I know they be talking on Twitter, bro. Twitter be
bro. Yo, Twitter be pissing me off, so I try to stay off that, John. But one thing about that shit, too, that shit is hilarious, bro. That shit the bit. It be funny as shit when the trolls be saying shit to fighters that be in the wrong and shit. Like, when them trolls be responding to Hitchens, bro, I'll be crying. Bro. And Shakur, too. The one nigga was like... Yo, I ain't even gonna get into that. They be tweaking though. Miller Norman was at the haters ball. Absolutely. Yo, but what be killing me about Norman is that he be really trying to make it seem like he not a hater, but he's so emotional he can't hide it. Like he was like, yeah. Like he'll try. You know what haters be doing to try to disguise the fact that they ain't haters? They try to throw a little props to nigga away, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, yeah, he be doing this, he be doing that. But whenever it come down to it, bro, they gonna let that hate out, bro. That hate build up, and they just need to let it go. If not, they can't function, bro. Should be hilarious.
Alcohol put on drink for a couple hours.
Yeah, like eventually they gonna open that motherfucking bottle. They gonna pop that shit, bro. Shit crazy, bro.
Man, it's been a while.
Norman Sr. honestly hates Philly in general. Yeah, he do. Yeah, because Boots, I didn't see it. But they said Boots landed a low blow on Xander. He was like, oh, look, a low blow, just like a typical Philly fighter. I'm like, nigga, what fighter from Philly right now is known for being a dirty fighter? When Boots ever been known for being a dirty fighter?
I'm trying to figure out what girl man gonna do way to hit another man in his man.
Yeah, like I didn't understand that. Like I'm looking at all the top fighters from Philly in the past few years. I'm like, was he a dirty fighter? No. Was he a dirty fighter? No. So where are you getting this from? Was it because Norman was coming over to Philly and was getting his ass whooped? So you know what I'm saying? Because you know Norman used to go over to Bozies and get whooped by Boots.
Yeah, he used to swear.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? He been salty about it ever since then. And then when them negotiations happened, and they was trying to bring Norman over to Philly to fight Boots in the unification fight, he turned that shit down. Oh, if we're gonna be fighting in Philly, we need this much. You know what I'm saying? Talking all this bullshit. But they was like, oh, but we'll take that amount. We'll take that same money they was offering. That nigga Brian Norman Sr. said, we'll take that amount if it's in a neutral location. So the nigga just terrified of fighting in Philly. Pussy. And then he was calling out Greg Haggett to fight. Greg was like, let's make the fight happen in Philly. We'll sell a lot of tickets. He didn't want to fight him. Greg had to go over to ATL to rumble the nigga. Yeah, he's a bitch, bro.
Greg Haggett fight too? I thought that nigga just trained.
No, that nigga was a whole pro, bro. Nigga got a lot of fights.
365, right?
Yeah, Greg Haggett. You ain't know he was a pro?
No, I thought he just was a trainer.
Damn, you got some catching up to do, bro.
I'm only 18.
Yeah, Greg had a lot of fights, bro.
I thought he was just a trainer, bro. Got one of my little judgments.
No, he turned pro. He was a pro for a while. Then he started coaching fighters, and then he started getting into the YouTube shit. Then when he started collabing with Mill and shit like that, his fan base started picking up crazy. I ain't gonna lie. When we was at the Barclays, bro, them niggas was surrounding Greg like he was a fucking like he was a world champ. I swear to God, bro. Yo, them niggas crowded around Greg. Like I'm gonna say this. I seen legit world champions in there, and they wasn't getting love like Greg. I swear to God, bro. That's on everything I love, bro.
That's
Bro,
dope.
I seen niggas like Stephen Fulton in there.
Yeah.
I seen Andy Cruz in that John. I seen a few niggas. I seen Shannon Briggs. A lot of niggas don't even know who Shannon Briggs. You know what that is? Let's go, champ. You never seen him?
Oh no,
Big ass bald head boy. I seen
him.
him there. I seen everybody. Everybody. I seen Devin. Well, he wasn't getting Dev was in the cut. He wasn't out. He wasn't in the hallway and shit like that. But Greg was legit getting more love than the world champions that was in that joint.
Yeah.
I seen. I went to go grab some food real quick. Went in there, grabbed my food and shit. I see a whole big John. So I'm like, all right, must be somebody. I'm thinking I'm gonna run into Teofimo Lopez bitch ass. But I didn't.
Was he there?
But it was fucking great. Yeah, he was there. But bro, I didn't see him. I didn't see him not one time. The only niggas I saw. Oh yeah. Yeah, you already know. But yo, Greg had this nigga had a whole lineup of people wanting to take pictures. I took a picture with him. There was a bunch of people there, bro. He legit had a suit on. That shit was hilarious, bro. I thought he was joking. Bro, the whole build up to the fight, he was like, suits. Where y'all suits, man? I'm wearing my suit. Like, ain't Greg, get the fuck out of here. You ain't wearing no suit. That nigga came in there with a fucking he came in there with a tux. Yeah. Swear to God, bro. Nigga had a old tux on. Mother, he wildin'.
Yo, Craig, you went on Prime all these years ago. Fuck you got a store,
bro. He was dressed in all black. That shit had me rolling. I said Greg fought Jerry Hurd. Yeah, he did fight Jerry Hurd. He fought Alontes Fox, which is Mike Fox's brother. I think he fought like Zab Judah brother or some shit like that. They were like, Greg been around, bro. They be trying to shit on him because of his record, but it's like
he fought niggas.
Yeah, but like Greg fought all the way up to heavyweight. Yeah, like
Greg small.
Yeah, Greg small as shit, but nigga, he fought this nigga was fighting 6'6" niggas and all that, bro. 6'6", 300-pound heavyweights.
Fighting small nigga, being a small nigga and fighting a nigga who way taller than you, that's frustrating.
Bro. He done been in there with all of them. I got a lot of respect for Greg though. They try to shit on him. Oh, your record so and so. It's like, bro, that's so what, nigga? He's not talking from the perspective of a fighter. He's not. You know what I'm saying, they said Greg a 5'6" heavyweight. Basically. Yeah. Basically. Yeah, he like 5'6", yeah.
Never.
But the niggas that be talking that shit about Greg, y'all niggas couldn't beat him. That's what the fuck be hilarious to me. All these niggas that be talking. I can't wait to run into that bitch ass nigga that be on my Twitter, bro. I can't wait. He be talking crazy. Apparently a nigga talk crazy to everybody from Philly, but some bitch ass nigga from Jersey. His name like boxing height 4'5'6" or some shit like that. I can't wait to see that nigga, bro. He better have that same fucking mouth that he got on the internet.
Grown ass man.
I told that nigga, yeah, he a grown ass man. I told that nigga, I said, bro, that disrespect, you know, real old. He's all, come see me at the weigh-in then, nigga. If you think shit's sweet. Nigga, I ain't going to the weigh-in, bro. I'm not driving 2 hours to Brooklyn to go to no fucking weigh-in. I'll be at the fights though. Ain't see that nigga there. That don't mean he wasn't there. I just ain't seen him. All right. I mean, you be at the amateur shows in Jersey. I'm gonna be there. Don't even worry about it.
We gonna fight over there again, so.
Oh yeah, we gonna be over there. We gonna see exactly what you want. Bet you that shit. You ain't gonna say none of that. You will not say none of that shit that you say on Twitter to my face. Bet you.
TK on April, he from Jersey.
He don't be in South Jersey. If it was South Jersey, I'd have been ran into him. He be up North Jersey, close to New York and all that.
That's why he's saying come to the weigh-in convention out for him. That.
Oh shit.
What?
Niggas going crazy with them fireworks.
Oh yeah. 4th of July. Niggas always going crazy with the fireworks.
Somebody threw a firework on the floor and they exploded all around the street.
Yo, niggas real life just be doing shit, dog.
Anybody criticizing Abdullah online? Let me see.
Oh, it's gonna be that.
This little fag.
Right,
Can't stand him.
right on Twitter.
Devin Haney said Abdullah is special and he's Muslim.
Mashallah.
Okay.
Niggas tweaking on the ref.
You said what?
Niggas tweaking out on the ref.
I don't know how these refs don't be getting smacked for that bullshit. I ain't gonna lie.
Albert Bell, he's like, oh, some get off me shit.
Look. Auntie Sco, I believe that ref was allegedly paid off. Something seems real fishy. Shut your dumb ass up. You don't even let your son run his own page, you hoe ass nigga.
Yeah, that's him.
Ooh, Steve Breadman said Mark Nelson is allegedly corrupt. He was a referee in Pacquiao versus Horn, Adames versus Williams, which I'm assuming Stephen Breadman was coaching J-Rock for that fight. Yeah. Usyk versus Fury won, and now Mason versus Bell. No way this is a coincidence. Damn. All those fights ended controversially, to be honest, too. So that's crazy.
I did it, but she's some out of pocket shit. Niggas just said anything.
So what?
After this, but she's some out of pocket shit because I seen that.
Yeah, the coon.
Yeah.
Real Devin Haney said, worst stoppage I've ever seen. Damn. Look. And this who you compare to kids smoking mirrors. See? Mason got exposed.
Here niggas go. Albert Bell has 9 knockouts. Bell has no power.
How many knockouts did Tevin Farmer have, Auntie?
Bro, just because somebody don't got crazy knockouts don't mean.
I just want to know how many knockouts Tevin Farmer got.
I think he had a 26% kill ratio.
34. Yeah, look how many knockouts he got though.
Nah.
But that's your best win. You see how easy that shit is? Yeah. You see how easy it is to counter these niggas? It's like, you know, he on box for real. A nigga counter like a motherfucker.
I'm gonna keep it a bean.
Albert Bell has 9 knockouts. Bell has no power at all. Imagine what kid would do to Mace. All right, but you fought Tevin Farmer, who also has 9 knockouts. And that's the best win on your resume to date. Which is stupid ass.
Just cause, bro. Just cause just they be like Albert Bell got 9 knockouts. Just cause he got 9 knockouts don't mean he don't got no pop to his punches. He could just be
that's another thing.
Very defensive fighter. But how tall is Kid Austin? He not 6 foot.
No, not at all.
His reach not that long.
I think Floyd Schofield only like 5. If I had to guess, he probably like 5'8". They say he 5'7".
So if he 5'7" and Abdullah Mason 5'9", meaning Abdullah Mason got a longer reach than him, right? So if
he got a crazy reach,
so him saying that is pretty much saying like, because Mason had trouble with Albert Bell. Albert Bell has a longer reach, and he's taller than Abdullah Mason. And for somebody who is heavy head hunting, like Abdullah Mason, great going to the body, but he likes those head shots. So him having a reach advantage and a height advantage that Floyd Schofield Jr. don't have, it's a different ball game. So how you gonna compare him saying that he gonna be able to do this to Mason and do that to Mason? Because Albert Bell did it, but they got totally different styles, totally different height and reach advantages. And Floyd Schofield Jr. is nice, but he's not 6 foot and can fight on the back foot like Albert Bell. From what I've seen.
Well, they said they got the 5 styles, so
5 styles of bullshit, Auntie talking.
He got the 5 styles. He better know how to fight backwards. Yo, wouldn't that be some shit? If a nigga say they got the 5 styles of boxing master and they can't even fight on the back foot,
Yeah,
would that be some shit?
I'm like that. I just find that I just don't like when people try to hit the little. He
No, but
beat
you
him
know,
so he can beat
Abdullah,
him.
real quick, because Jay just mentioned it. Abdullah did have a longer reach than Bell, though.
Yeah,
Apparently, yeah, Abdullah got like a 6'2"
damn.
reach.
What the hell?
Yeah, so even though Albert was taller,
They had a longer
Albert
reach.
height still had an effect though. The way
Yeah,
he was falling back, letting Abdullah overcommit, and he was lining him up with the right hand.
and he
His
stands
height still
straight
played
up.
a
So
yeah,
that nigga was really 6 foot.
yeah,
I didn't know Abdullah Mason had a long reach though.
yeah. He got a crazy reach. That shit gonna help him when he get up to like
Hell
47 and
yeah.
all that. Bella said he was getting hands and feet put on him by Jerome. Yeah, I remember that. Little Mexican motherfucker was putting hands on Floyd. Drop Floyd and all. Talking
Yeah.
that bullshit.
I'm just saying, like, when people try to swing the whole narrative, like, all right, so like, Albert Bell gave Mason trouble, so Floyd Schofield will too. Oh, he beat him, so he can't beat him
It
because
don't
he
work
beat him.
like that.
It don't. Styles make fights, bro. Like, to
It don't
say
work like that.
somebody can beat somebody else just because he beat. Let's put it this way, he's saying for me, Mason can't beat Kid because Albert Bell gave him trouble. So basically, it's just like it don't work that way. Styles makes fights. Floyd and Albert Bell don't got the same style. Floyd's style may be easier for him mixing the crack than Albert Bell's style was. It's just all a matter of perspective on how they approach it, and it's totally different approaches.
Yeah, that's a fact. Rose said he got the 5 styles of pulling out of fights. That's crazy.
Crazy part is he pulled out. He pulled out a damn near 5 fights.
They got the 5 styles of pulling out of fights. That's hilarious. Y'all ever pulled out of a fight by getting hospitalized? Yo, that shit. He said somebody poisoned his son for the Shakur fight. Somebody poisoned his son. Somebody over at Riyadh poisoned his son.
No, he poisoned his son mind and thinking he was gonna go in there and watch Shakur ass.
Then he said,
got cool feet.
bro, that Shakur build up was so nasty, bro. This nigga said that niggas planted drugs in his car. He said that somebody had something to do with that. He said they was accusing him of like trafficking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that when they got to the airport, they said that somebody ripped the signature page out of their passport. He believes Shakur and them did that. Bro, how do they do that?
Where did they get possession of your stuff?
How? I think, yo, bro, I might be wrong, but I remember Floyd Schofield and them saying some shit like they believed that they had somebody come in their crib and tear the signature page out their passport. Yeah, they put cream on my son. I remember that shit too.
You said that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, bro. They be wildin'. Bro, he was panicking that whole build up to that fight, bro.
Ralph said this nigga Shakur on some Mission Impossible shit.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
That's overly.
Bro, that nigga was having anxiety the whole lead up to that fight. He was looking for any reason to pull his son out. And when there was no real reason to pull out, he did some drastic shit. So this is what I think happened with Floyd Schofield, right? Because they was complaining about, because it was for the WBC title. The WBC does check-in weigh-ins, and you have to make sure that you're cutting weight safely. You have to be a certain weight, like a month out, 2 weeks out, 1 week out, whatever the case is. I forgot what the time frames are. And you have to get closer and closer to the weight by then. So let's say they be like, oh, you need to be within 10 pounds of the weight in 2 weeks out. So 2 weeks out, you have to be 145 pounds. Then a week before, you have to be 140 pounds. They was complaining about that the whole time. Like I remember that shit. Oh, the WBC check-in win. Like, oh, we don't really like that. We got a system. Like how the way we cut weight, we had a system, and the WBC check-in weight goes against it. So what I think happened was the nigga cut weight horribly. Like they did a weight cut they had to cut weight a way that went against their strategy, and that's probably why Kid Austin he getting injured all the time because he has to overly work his body to get down to the weight class. That's what I think. When you cutting all that excessive weight, you losing all them vitamins and minerals that your body needs in order to function. When you losing all that shit, bro, you become real fragile. That's how injuries pile up. It ain't just age; it's also excessive weight cut. That's why Virgil Ortiz had to move up. His body was literally breaking down because he was forcing his body to come down to a weight it didn't want to. So I think bad weight cut. You know what I'm saying? Kid Austin didn't respond well to the rehydration process or whatever, and they pulled him.
Just like it's not an invalid reason to keep it a being.
I think he had a terrible weight cut. They didn't want to blame it on the weight cut, so they used this fucking whatever like desperate ass excuse so people could be like, oh. But you know what was kind of crazy though? Daniel Dubois had to pull out that same card, and he was sick too. So maybe there was some shit going on over there. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hitchens too. He cut weight and ate some bad lamb. Why I gotta be lamb? What the fuck? Why the fuck you gotta be lamb?
Oh no, lamb good as hell though.
Lamb is good. What? There was a restaurant I had some like lamb meatballs or some shit like that. Somebody in the chat gonna say something crazy about that. It was lamb meatballs, right? Somebody gonna say something. That shit was fire though. I ain't gonna lie. Lamb overall is fire. I be getting them joints off the halal trucks too.
Lamb over race.
Yeah.
What, bro?
Yep. Majimov was sick too. Yeah, he had but he had proof of that, bro. He had real bad ammonia.
No, pneumonia not no joke. I had
ammonia ain't no joke. I remember that. I had 2 joints that wasn't no joke. Ammonia and bronchitis. Nigga. When your lungs is filled with all that mucus and shit. Bro, I had to sit, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I remember I had a chair pulled up to my sink and I ain't gonna get too crazy. But bro, I'm spitting out mucus like the size of like one of my fucking like the size. I don't even know, bro. Like one of the size of my fingers, bro. It was crazy.
I had pneumonia.
Bro, I couldn't believe that shit.
It was crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna check the pneumonia. Doctor told me if I'd have came to the hospital a week later, I could have went brain dead or checked because I was coughing up blood. My fevers was too high. Pneumonia, not bro. And they came from running in the cold.
Oh yeah,
that's why I got that trouble.
I think that's what killed Bernie Mac. I think ammonia killed Bernie Mac.
No, people really be like pneumonia bad, bro. Like as a
kid, should take you out, bro.
As a kid, I used to run outside with a hoodie on, 30-degree weather. My mom used to yell in the window.
Hell no.
Put that damn jacket on if you catch pneumonia. I'm looking at her.
Like, if you watch like Oscar De La Hoya and all them, Oscar De La Hoya used to run. He have a big ass coat on, gloves, and that nigga ran with boots on.
Yeah, he wouldn't play no game.
Yeah, De La Hoya ain't played that. Muhammad Ali did the same shit.
Yeah,
he was on a 15-month treatment. Yeah, they said he was like on a 1-year treatment to get rid of that ammonia, which is crazy to me. That shit must have damn near took him out. And to be real, Majimov ain't been performing the same since then. Yeah, he ain't been fighting the same since then. Ever since the Bud fight, that nigga Majimov has not been the same. And I don't think it's because of Bud. I think them health issues really fucked him over. He said next subject. Oh. Justin, you tripping. But no, though, that shit real. Justin. Yeah, that shit real. I think ammonia killed Bernie Mac. Let me see. Because every time I think of that, I think of him. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, do you know how to spell it?
I did. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm learning how to spell it.
Yeah, he got lingering sickness. Yeah, that's bad. I remember they said something about when Virgil Ortiz was going through his health issues. They said something about he had like long-term COVID. And I had that shit too, bro. I remember I had COVID and I was trying to I forgot what the fuck I was trying to do, but I needed to be negative in order to do it. And bro, I had COVID, but that shit only lasted like a week. Bro, I was testing myself like 4 or 5 months later, I was still positive.
Yeah.
I was like, how?
I think it was like long college.
Yeah, bro, that shit pissed me off, bro. I was like, how the fuck am I still positive? I haven't had this shit in months, and they ain't give a fuck. They was like, nope, you positive. You gotta quarantine. You gotta quarantine. That shit was driving me crazy, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, I had COVID, but I was only sick for it.
I know, Hampton. I know that's what Virgil had. That was like his kidney, like the proteins and all that shit. Like I know that, but I remember there was a point in time where Virgil was sick, and they said the reason why he was getting that was because of long-term COVID or some shit like that. Let's see. See, it says Virgil Ortiz suffered from a severe recurring case of rhamdomyolysis. It says triggered by long COVID. So long COVID was triggering that recurring case of, I don't know how to pronounce that shit.
Rhamdialysis?
Dialysis. No. Rhamdomyosis. I don't know. I'm saying it wrong. But y'all get what I'm saying. That long-term COVID that he had was triggering that disease that he had. He said overtraining, but a lot of PED users get it too. Ooh, what you trying to say, Hampton? I got COVID in June of 2021. I was pissed. I had it for a week and a half. The first time I had COVID was the day after Teofimo Lopez beat Lomachenko. I'll never forget that shit. Bro, I was watching. I watched it that night, bro. It was me and my stepfather. We watched the fights. Everything was cool, bro. I was happy, bro. That's the one time I rooted for Tio, bro. Never the fuck again.
You want him to be Loma?
Yeah, hell yeah. Bro, because I couldn't stand. Now I appreciate Loma, but at the time, bro, they was putting in pound for pound #1 and disrespecting Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward. Bro, the fans for Loma, they was calling me White Jesus and all this shit.
I know.
Bro, I couldn't stand them niggas, bro. I was like, bro, Loma gotta go. He gotta go. And Tio beat him. I'm still happy that Tio beat him. But because I was really fucking with Tio around that time. That was before he became a weirdo. And bro, I woke up the next day, bro, on my sunlight, bro. It felt like I got like in a fucking car accident, bro. My whole body was hurting. I couldn't get up out of my bed. I told my mom tried to walk in my room. I said, yo, don't come in here. Don't come in here. She was like, well, I said, I think I got that shit. Yo, my mom locked my ass in that room. I did not leave that bitch for 2 weeks. Only time I got up, my mom disinfected the bathroom and only allowed me to use the bathroom. That bathroom, we got 2 bathrooms. She's like, you can only use this bathroom. That's it. And I was in it, bro. I was going from bedroom to bathroom, bedroom to bathroom. Can't leave that bitch.
You felt like you locked up, bro. Like
that shit felt like a bid for sure. That shit was bad. Yeah, Ralph, I remember that. They were like, I remember they wanted to remove the. So Loma lost a second pro fight to Orlando Salido, right? Bro, when Loma's hype was at an all-time high, they literally was advertising him as an undefeated fighter. It was like, he's like, I said at the time, he's 11-0. Like, nigga, no, he not. He lost. Bro, they didn't give a fuck. They was, man, and then when he beat Guillermo Rigondeaux, oh my God. That shit broke my heart watching Guillermo quit like that. That was my dog. But at the end of the day, Guillermo was too fucking small. He was too small for Loma, man. Then he goes a fucking 122, really 118 pounder going up to 130. Loma was too big, too strong, embarrassing, bro. This nigga went and quit in his corner. I was like, nah. And after that, bro, they was calling him Nomaschenko and all that. I was like, no, this nigga gotta go. Somebody gotta get him. And T.O. kept saying that nigga name. I said, yo, T.O., we need you to beat him. We need you to beat him. And when that nigga turned around and really beat him, man, I was fucking with T.O. heavy. But then after that, he started showing who the fuck he really was. I was like, oh, I can't rock with this, man. He was acting real funny. I remember when Devin Haney was like, what's up, man? When we gonna fight? Bro, I'll never forget this shit. This nigga Devin pulled up on T.O. They was at some fight card. This nigga Devin was like, hey, what's up, man? Let's get a fight happen. Let's make something happen. T.O. was like, yeah, that'd be a good fight to make later down the line. He said, man, fuck down the line. I want to fight right now. Bro, this nigga T.O. was bitching. I was like, bro, no fucking way, bro. No way. T.O. always act funny when it came to Dev, bro. Never wanted no smoke. For years, since they was at 35. Yo, Dev been terrorizing and bullying T.O. for I don't know how long. And T.O. just want no smoke.
T.O. don't like nothing that way.
This is what happened with T.O. T.O. fucked himself over. He burned every bridge. Everybody he did business with. Top rank built him for him. He was nobody, made him into a unified champion, all of that shit. Then he started making and he's also Honduran, but the Honduras they don't really give a fuck about boxing. So he didn't really have a fan base. He didn't really have a country behind him. So his main fans was Puerto Ricans and black people. You disrespect the Puerto Ricans by saying all these fighters suck, which is the dumbest shit in the world you can say to a Puerto Rican fighter. It's like talking shit about their baseball team. Dumbest shit. Then you went ahead and you disrespected black people. The watermelons and the bananas, monkeys, and to some of the most prominent black fighters in the world. You made racist, derogatory remarks. Not only that, you were hitting the bag, and then you say the N-word with the ER. Where that ER at? Where that any? Oh, I didn't say that. I said liquor. Man, shut the fuck up. So burn that fan base down. So then he disrespected Turkey Al-Sheikh, called him a dictator. But emphasized dick. Called him a dictator.
When?
This was when he was trying to fight, when they was trying to get him to fight Devin Haney. So he agreed to all of the terms, everything was going well. Them niggas printed out a contract, sent it to T.O., and he refused to sign it. Called Turkey a dictator and all this bullshit. So then he thought he was gonna go over to PBC. He had like a PBC hat on. He swore he was gonna go to PBC and get a deal with them. They ain't had no motherfucking money for him. So nope, he burnt the bridge with Top Rank. PBC ain't had no money for him. Nobody else wanted to do business with him. He had to come back running the Turkey Al-Sheikh, apologize to him and all that. Turkey was like, all right, I'll work with you, but now you're gonna have to fight who I want you to fight. You don't want to fight Devin? All right. Fight Shakur.
Shakur whooped that nigga.
Man, T.O. was forced to fight Shakur. I still say that to this day. He ain't want nothing to do. He ain't want nothing to do with no Shakur Stevenson fight. But if you want a certain amount of money, this the only nigga who's willing to give you that money, you're gonna have to go that way. But with that money comes conditions. So you're not about to just, I need $5 million for a fight. Okay, then Turkey will give you $5 million, but he ain't gonna give you $5 million to fight just anybody. You want this $5 million, nigga, you gonna have to rumble him. And bro, this nigga Shakur, I'm sure Shakur's sparring was tougher than that fight. Willing to bet.
12 straight rounds of cruise control, jab, back up, jab.
Boy, that nigga was pull countering with a jab, fucking T.O. up. And T.O. kind of figured that shit out to save his life.
And Bob's instructions was working too.
Bro, his dad not no fucking coach. I be trying to tell niggas, but bro, whatever T.O. got, bro, he got that shit on his own. His pop is not no real coach, bro.
I'm gonna keep it being like, I don't, even on our worst days, like we ain't talking about our fights. Even if I came back to the corner and fight, I don't think I came back to the corner. Like I couldn't figure it out. But in sparring, I sparred like like Juan Carlos and all them, or even when I sparred Juan that one day, or even in general. I done heard you get like pissed at me when I had bad sparring days, but you never told me in the corner, yo, bro, you gonna hate yourself.
That's some wild shit.
Like you done probably told me. I think
what was crazy is he didn't even attempt to give his son instructions. He just started disrespecting his son.
Yeah.
Where's your power, bro?
You gotta hit him, nigga. Tell him
you gotta hit him.
Tell him how.
You're gonna hate yourself in the morning. What, nigga?
It's crazy. Like, all just to the left. I think the most you probably threaten to do is if you don't look ready, I'm not allowed you to fight.
That's what any coach should tell you. Should no coach tell you that shit? Should no coach let you fight if they know you're not ready? It don't even make sense.
I had a bad week. You were just like, bro, if you feel me, like you performing bad, I said, what? My shit right together.
Some people need to be told that. Didn't give his son no encouragement. Man, fuck encouragement. Where is the instructions to get me back in the winning side? I told niggas, bro. I said T.O. the only way T.O. could win a fight with Shakur is if he make it a fight. But I said T.O. style not cut like that. So it's easy for me to be like, oh, if you want to beat this nigga, you got brawling. But if your style not built upon being a brawler, it's very difficult to do. It's either you're that or you're not. You know what I'm saying? It was. And they knew that. That's why they did that. That was to teach T.O. a lesson. I'm saying. Well, he taught T.O. a lesson. He got his ass whooped. But now T.O. trying to fight Rolly. Oh, really knock him the fuck out, bro. Oh, Rolly whoop his ass. I hope T.O. be feeling himself a little bit, get in exchange with Rolly and run right into some hot shit.
Right.
Rolly beat Ryan, yeah.
That was a good one. Bro, crazy part is niggas was calling me crazy for saying Rolly was gonna beat.
I picked Rolly. I picked him. He said he had bills to pay. T.O. said that, Justin? Did he say that? He sound like a hoe. Yeah, T.O. said some shit. T.O. was like, I'm glad I made it look away. Like I made it look that way. I'm glad I made it look that way. Nigga, what? You making it seem like you took a dive or something. Nah, nigga, you was trying to fuck Shakur up and you couldn't because you can't box. T.O. cannot box. T.O., and that's why I think he avoids black fighters because he's accustomed to being a more athletic guy with the better reflexes, the hand speed, and he got good hand speed, he got good athleticism, good reflexes, you know what I'm saying? Good rhythm, but it ain't like Devin, it ain't like Shakur. Like, he's not going to be able to get that shit off because he's not more athletic than those guys. So if your whole style is based upon athleticism, but you get in there with somebody who's more athletic than you basically neutralize. So yeah, and then you're not big, and then they're bigger than you too. Like Shakur looked bigger than him. He moved up. Yeah, and then Devin gonna be way bigger than him. That should be all wrong, bro. Dev would have whooped T.O. ass.
Surprise. I don't think he ever gonna fight Devin unless you really need to pay.
Say that again?
I don't think he ever gonna fight Devin Haney unless you really need that money.
But the thing is, it's like where else you gonna get that money, bro?
It's Turkey.
Yeah, but Turkey gonna throw him in the dungeon. Yeah, they say he's not doing too well, but I wonder if Turkey got it set up where like, all right, like if something happened to me, this dude gonna take over. Man, Turkey need to hit me up, man. Yo, Turkey, hit me up, bro. If you want anybody to carry on your legacy and put on big fight, bro, just pass that money to me, bro. I swear to God, all these niggas will be fighting each other by tomorrow. Swear to God. Yo, if that nigga Turkey was to be like, you know what? I'm handing my job over to Marcus Rosa. He will be the one to run the sports and entertainment department of Riyadh. My nigga. I swear to God, all these niggas be in trouble. All of them. I'm like, yo, We gonna have a big ass press conference tomorrow. I got some shit I gotta say. Nigga, I'm taking out all these media niggas. You fired, you fired, you fired. Get all these niggas up out of here. T.O., you only fighting dogs now for the rest of your career. If you don't want to, you gotta retire. I swear to God, bro, I would fucking. I swear to God.
You fighting you.
Canelo, how much you want for David Benavidez? 200 million? All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it. Give him the fucking 200 million. I need to see David whoop his ass. Oh my God, bro. I was like, you know what? Let's give him the 200. You want that 200 million, nigga? All right. Here you go. Sign this motherfucking contract, nigga.
That fight gonna make sense.
Oh my, yo, David, yeah, get your head, and y'all gonna fight at 175. Cool. Boom. Had them fight each other. Watch David beat the shit out Canelo. Okay, Canelo, you can retire now. Next. Yo, these niggas will be sick. If Ryan want to come back, he got to rematch Rolly.
Beat the shit out of him.
Real shit.
My God.
You out there?
Yeah.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
You too, my God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see you Monday. Justice said Mark making T.O. versus Moses Atama. That's crazy. T.O. definitely fighting all heavyweights the rest of his career. I'm ordering T.O. versus Daniel Dubois. You got 48 hours to negotiate. All right, bro. All right, man. Trick said Mazuma thoughts on the commentary today with Sean Porter Crawford and this nigga said Tom Bradley. Did you like Tim going after Sergio Mora? I mean, I don't mind a little debate going back and forth, man, as long as it's not taken away from the commentary or anything like that. You know, if Tim Bradley want to argue a point and Sergio want to argue a point, they could go back and forth. And as both of them being former champions, they got every right to do so, in my opinion. So yeah, I didn't mind that at all. And Tim actually adds a little bit of fire to the mix. So I don't really mind it, to be honest with you. Now, in terms of like Sean Porter Crawford and Tim Bradley, you know, commentating today, I actually liked the commentary. I ain't gonna lie, like Tim, you know, Bud was laid back, but he still was making some good points and doing all right with the commentary. Sean Porter, he's always been well spoken, terrible ass outfits, but you know, he could talk boxing a little bit, especially when he ain't got his hating cap on. And Tim Bradley, you know, despite how we may feel about Tim Bradley, bro, at this point, I actually enjoy his commentary. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, this shit that I agree and disagree with Tim, and you know, that I've been highly critical of him, like I've said in the past. But I actually like hearing him talk boxing. I like his passion. I like the fact that he enjoys what he's doing. Bud should stick to tweeting. Damn, really? You didn't. It wasn't terrible. You could tell commentating ain't Bud thing, but it wasn't terrible. It was a 10-8 round for Tim against Moore. I mean, bro, I seen Chris Mannix have 10-8 rounds against Sergio Moore. So, are we surprised? I be seeing Chris Mannix get off on Sergio Moore a lot. I'm like, damn. You wouldn't even know that this nigga Sergio Moore was a fucking world champion. You wouldn't even know that nigga beat Vernon Forrest. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and showed love as always. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'll be very much appreciated. I'll be back at y'all with another live, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world. Until then, hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.